All right, weekend's finally here, and it's looking like a pretty good one.
Looking great. And people were like, I was a little...
You were skeptical too.
I had no reason. I just knew the history of Memorial Day weekend. So Monday I was a little and then by, I'd say Tuesday afternoon, I was like, okay.
Pretty confident.
We're really going to do it.
Here we are.
So here we are. What could go wrong now? Looks great. Just a little light trolling on this Friday afternoon. There's the visible satellite showing the last of the clouds moving out of down East Maine. As I mentioned before, if you were in western or central or southern Maine, you had no idea that it's been cloudy and showery for 2 days up this way, and now just getting rid of it in the last moment here in time for us to all get on the same page for the weekend, which, as we've noted, looks quite promising. Upper 50s along the coastline, a couple of low 60s. Inland, we're upper 60s, a few low 70s. More or less, the farther you can get from this upper level low, the better off you were today. The more sun and the warmer the temperatures were. Drop down into the 40s tonight, mid 40s, a couple low 40s into the mountains possible. Tomorrow, though, there's not a whole lot to go through here. We're going to be in the mid 70s with a lot of sunshine. I think there's not a huge difference between coast and inland and mountains. We're about 75, give or take, everywhere, and that's great. A lot of sunshine, really comfortable temperatures. Dew points are low, so that feels good too. Tomorrow night is pretty mild, about 60 here in the middle of the night and into the mid 60s by Sunday morning. And then we make a quick run up into the 80s in a lot of spots on Sunday afternoon. This will be the warmest day of the long weekend for sure. And if anything, I'm getting more and more bullish on how warm that's going to be, with 80 in Portland, 81 in Wiscasset before the sea breeze kicks in, and then upper 70s over down East Maine. But I'll tell you what, I think we have a real potential to pop some low 90s here in the spots that you see: Bangor, Augusta, Lewiston, Freiburg, Brownfield, you know those spots, Cornish, Sebago. I think we could get some low 90s if we can get the full sun. The winds are pretty calm. I don't see any reason we can't get it done. It won't be humid. I don't know where the limit is for that though. Like 90 and not humid, still pretty warm, hot, right, I guess. You know my take on that. Bake me. Bake me. Yo, it is better. You're right, it is better. And the big difference, Sammy, is that you can go in the shade and get away from it.
Correct.
Whereas when it's humid, you can't. So high pressure is in control this weekend. The only thing that happens is that we get a backdoor cold front coming in Sunday night. And so that cools us down. But sometimes these backdoor cold fronts can be really showery and cloudy, and this is not one of those. It comes through during the overnight hours. It does cool us down into the upper 60s and low 70s on Memorial Day, but it kind of gets out of our hair in time for us to have a nice Monday as well. Just one little dad thing here. Okay, you're going to be out there. It's going to be 88 degrees. You'll be thinking about going in the water. The water is cold. Okay, even Sebago Lake, the buoy is reading 52. So eventually, it'll be much warmer in lakes than oceans, but right now they're very similar. And you go into down East Maine, and it's in the mid-40s. You kind of know better there, though. Even middle of the summer, it's a bit chilly up that way. I remember when I first moved here many, many moons ago, I went to Bar Harbor, Acadia, and I did Sand Beach. If you guys have been there, very beautiful. And I ran in the water, and it was breathtaking. It was so cold. And I remember being like, oh, this is a huge difference from even southern Maine. So just keep that in mind. But guys, next week looks really summery. We see a lot of mid-80s inland Wednesday, Thursday. And then finally a front comes through on Friday. That's our next chance of rain for the vast majority of us.
What a stretch.
So, yeah.
All right. Keith, thanks so much.